Anytime I have like a trainer on or anything and I do a Q&A on Instagram, women always ask, why do I get puffy when I work out?
All right, you want to hear this?
Yeah.
I call it the bloat phase, but it's called also a de-bloat thing if you know how to do it right.
Okay.
Everybody's afraid, and I've seen it happen, and this is just my theory on it. I'm not going to say it's completely like validated, but basically it's that you want that bloat short term. Right? Especially if you're like starting out and going hard. Because a few things that I've noticed that happen with women is like, you guys often don't drink enough water. So if you don't drink enough water, for whatever reason, the body holds on to it. You could look at it vasopressin or whatever. Like I'm not sure the complete hormonal cycle that's happening there, but you hold on to water. So first step is like, just drink a bunch of water. But that water and that working out is essentially going to cause a slight inflammatory response, which is fine because that's how the body then signals the right things and gets the positive responses from fitness. But that slight bloat that we see when you start working out is really like the body and muscles holding on to a little bit of water and other things for nutrient delivery, because your body needs nutrients delivered through the blood and it cleans itself up through the lymph and all that to be able to then get back stronger and recover better. So at first, this is a mistake that women often make. They see that bloat and they go harder instead of being patient because it disappears. I've had women lose almost 8 pounds. It sounds crazy, but 4 to 8 pounds overnight after a period of about 3 to 4 to 5 weeks that gives that body the time to recover while they're still eating well, making sure they hydrate. But I've had to talk them off the ledge. I'm like, believe me, I know the scale hasn't moved yet, but I promise you in about 3 to 5 weeks, if you keep doing what I tell you to do, you're going to drop weight if that's their needed goal. And that's what we've been working towards. So essentially it's a short-term inflammatory response, that puffiness, especially that we see in women, that's just a result of the body reacclimating itself. And then it's like, oh, I get it. I'm fine. I don't have to stress. And then whoop. But if you keep trying to push, you fall too deep in a hole and the alarm reaction stays elevated in the body. And especially we see that more with women. And that's where it kind of, that cascade, and it never goes away.
And are they training during that time?
They're training during that 3 to 5 week.
Yeah.
So basically, that's why they're puffy, because they're just it's just like a little bit of an alarm reaction due to the new stimulus of the weights, the cardio, that type of thing, and their body's just kind of reacclimating itself. But that's why the lower intensity, more stress reduction focused workouts are important. Making sure to nourish the body, because you want to be in a caloric deficit if weight loss is your goal, but you don't want to be in such a stark caloric deficit where the amount of energy that you're burning versus how much you're consuming is too large, because low energy availability is especially in female athletes is a bad thing. So yeah, it's just like in 3 to 5 weeks, and it typically goes away and the body realizes it could deal with the stress that was presented, and then the sanity is all restored in the kingdom of the women's mind.
Yeah, that's me right now. I'm puffy, and Jenna actually said something very similar. She's like, no, we're going to keep doing it. And she doesn't push me super hard. We were talking before about this balance of not pushing me over the edge, and then it's counterproductive, and then I can't work out. We've really been gradually building up, and I'm feeling a lot stronger, and I'm feeling muscles like in places I didn't have muscles before. And she's like, just wait, it's all gonna like melt away and you're gonna see all of your hard work beneath that. And I'm like, all right, I'll stick with it. But yeah, it's interesting that you said, like, I think a lot of women do, and myself in the past as well, feel like, oh, I have to go harder. Like it's weight. I have to go harder and lose the weight. And then
How is weight lost? How is weight lost?
You expend more energy than you take in.
But where does weight go? If matter's not created or destroyed, and this is actually a very recent thing, like people have been trying to figure it out. So when you lose weight, where does it go? You breathe it out.
Okay.
Right? So that's the respiration is essentially the thought process right now, right? So if energy is usually created through our metabolism, through specific cycles and generates ATP, one of those being aerobic respiration, you need oxygen. So you're breathing it out, right? So the thought process then there is two things. One, you need to be able to essentially have a good respiratory system. So that's why those aerobic conditioning workouts are very good. And then the other side of it is once you stimulate muscle, what? A pound of muscle, a pound of fat, they both weigh the same, but you got to look at which one takes up more space. Muscle takes up less space than fat. So the thought process then eventually becomes there from a body composition standpoint. When you want that aesthetic, you just basically, it's not really always about weight, it's about body composition. So that's something also to take into account. So this thought process with like just caloric restriction, that's why it doesn't always hold up. But also just making sure like you aren't overly stressed, because that essentially messes up your kind of nervous system in a way that just makes everything harder. So it's being able to stay calm and kind of go through those motions in the proper way are often very beneficial.